Discretion is advised.
I really need to fix that abrupt stopping. I don't have any sound fade-ins, guys. This is a quality production here, just so we're clear. Guys, happy Thursday. You're listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 232. Holy crap, that is a lot of episodes. That's a lot of ranting. That's a lot of forehead. No. Rem didn't appreciate the forehead comment. That's cool, Rem. You don't gotta laugh. It's cool. We are in patch 8.1. Tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of different, kind of random things. We're going to be talking about our year in review for us as players. World of Warcraft, kind of. We don't really need to do like a whole year in review. I think we all pretty much get the gist. Want to talk a little bit about what Warcraft life looks like in 2019. Belle may or may not be giving tips on how to pick better friends and deal with issues when it comes to gaming friendships and how those affect your playability, question mark? I don't really know. I feel like I used all my brain power at work to find the good word there. We have that and much, much more. We're going to be talking about all things from all around Azeroth and maybe even beyond, but not Pornhub, guys. So, we're not going to cover that. If you've got that already bookmarked, you're just going to have to not, because it's illegal here on Twitch, right, Rem? Yeah? Legal? Illegal. Okay, it's illegal. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it. We might be banned after the intro, but, I mean, yeah, it could be worse. Go grab a drink. We'll be right back.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Ironforge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Belle.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies.
Then how did you eat it in the first place?
Lovable defender of the lesser races of Azeroth, it's Murky.
Because a turtle made it to the water.
With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
Hello, people of podcast land. This is Winstallin speaking, and Winstead from the Technically PvP podcast. And you are listening to the Pwnecast podcast.
What a great bumper. Look at Rem's face, guys. What do you suppose is going on in Rem's mind right now?
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
I literally unmuted right at the exact moment. Perfect timing. That was pretty good, Rem. I gotta give it to you.
Yay.
You did look a little confused.
What's the point?
You looked a little bit like Lena last night.
Oh, poor Lena.
She looked both devastated and confused and scared all at the same time. It was hysterical. But
Did she end up making it?
I don't know,
Topic?
actually.
Oh.
Yes, she did. Actually, she did. She did end up making it, which is kind of funny. But we could talk about that during the bullshit section. But yeah,
Yes, yes.
Was quite comical.
Yes.
Till you coded us out of your house. It's okay, we got in. Because I'm not saying we know how to do those things, but we do know how to do those things. Like, we have the technology to do those things. Welcome back. If you're new to Pwnecast, I usually apologize ahead of time for offensive things or rants or having to listen to the sound of my voice. But I think I'm going to start 2019 off not apologizing. What do you think about that, Rem?
I mean, isn't that how you live life already?
Yeah, pretty much. One taco stand at a time. But if you are
Oh, speaking of, there is a good taco stand by me I just found.
well, we found a disturbing thing out about a taco stand down the road.
They had dogs and cats in their
No,
tacos.
we never have eaten there, and I'm really super glad we did because my husband found out some disturbing things. But it's
Oh, you have to tell me that. Put that
I'll
up.
make sure I let you know the location so that you don't go there. But if you are new to Bonecast, my name is Belle. I am a destruction warlock who's opinionated. So welcome. And with me is my co-host, the most elegant priest in all of Azeroth
That's on the
Remedies.
shade.
I just want people to know how elegant
Mm-hmm.
you are. You're so elegant. Like,
Thank you. So yeah, I mean it's just elegant looking and elegant.
elegantness, right?
It's got the smooth lines and it's just elegant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
What?
Is that what your version of elegant is?
I mean that's partly. I mean elegance is just like looking fancy, pretty much.
Well, Blow, he is an eligible bachelor. I think. I don't. It's one of those things where I don't actually know.
Yeah, no, you didn't know. I actually have 3 wives. They're all in Utah though, so
Nobody would tell the opinionated friend anything that they're doing because I have silly ideals about, life and being a good human and,
Well, full disclosure, when it comes to relationships, I have the same mentality. So outside of relationships,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he is eligible. He's an eligible bachelor, guys.
I don't know if I'm eligible. I'm a bachelor, but I don't know if I'm eligible.
Well, okay, let's define this because I feel like this is important because this has a lot to do with World of Warcraft and kind of today's theme is going to be similar to that in nature, except like we're not trying to find you a wife or, whatever. You've got Pornhub for that. You can maybe find your future missus there, but it's important to know what eligibility means. Like, what makes someone an eligible bachelor?
Well, are you asking me or?
Anybody that has an answer.
Well, first off, someone that is relatively not hard on the eyes. They have sustainable income for maybe a potential family that's eligible. They are not a child, so I'm at strike 3 of 3.
Well, so again, I feel like sustainable income is relative, right? I feel like it's a mixed bag because what are you trying to sustain? Are you trying to sustain a ready-made family? Or are you trying to sustain maybe just a spouse and maybe a dog? Because you could afford a spouse and maybe a dog.
Count the spouse. Maybe I'd rather have the dog anyway.
And you really need to just make sure you have budget for your game subscription. You have budget for
that's
a good
priority,
rig.
man.
Yeah.
And if kids come into play, then they cut into the tacos and the food.
You are
I mean, that's the same thing.
preaching to the choir, sir.
And games and nap time. So I don't envy you. I mean, I love your kids, but I don't envy you.
No, Jess, I just want to tell you that some people with criminal records are good people. So I wouldn't discount them. In fact, some of the most fiercely loyal and moralistic humans are ex-felons, just so you're aware.
Depending on why they went.
Yes, so, right. Because it is subjective, right? It's subjective to the reason, not even the reason, but the nature. But yeah, there's got to be some leeway there somewhere. Because by the year 2025, everybody's going to have a DLC number, guys.
Should I put that to the test?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, everybody has them these days. Don't you, Rem?
No. I've never been in handcuffs.
I see my daughter creeping in the chat.
I noticed that.
Well, she's not here. I'm going to try to see if I could get the husband to pick her up tomorrow because I'm a selfish parent and I would like her home. But yeah.
What was I
So
gonna say? Yeah, no, I've never even been in handcuffs, Belle. So yeah.
the survey of your FetLife search history tells me that might be a lie. Like, I'm not trying to call you out, but I'm just saying, like, I know things. So without calling you out, I'm just going to say that. So let's move on to some World of Warcraft things, shall we? Guys, we didn't have a show last week, and I'm really glad that we didn't.
Yeah, it's been like a year, man.
I know.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad we didn't, though. I was so tired that I don't think I could have mustered up any energy.
Ow, fuck.
What was that?
Ow. My foot just cramped up.
Not really sure what he's doing, guys. I try not to judge. That's a lie. I judge everyone. Everyone knows that. And that's okay, because sometimes it's needed. But World of Warcraft land, we didn't have a show. There wasn't a lot of, like, the week before, the week of the holiday. There was some, like, we were able to play, but it wasn't. The holidays creeped up so fast this year.
Yeah, it just flew by. It was
that
like,
I thought I had a handle on it,
bam,
and
bam.
then bam. Yeah, energy isn't a thing. Thank you for knowing that, because
yeah, it's a constant state of just being tired. Yeah.
last night while trying to game, it just needed some peace and quiet, right? And Rem can attest to this, because
They were having fun, you Nazi.
my children, especially like when my husband comes in to play too, right? When we're both in here,
It's like, it's no rules.
there's no rules, and they never stop coming in here to ask or say random things that we could be downstairs for 12 hours and they'll never say a word to either one of us. But the second we're up here... But yesterday, I've been listening to these boys for 2 weeks just scream, not like crying scream, but like having fun battle cries.
That's a good word for it, battle cries, because that's what it sounds like when
So it's
over here.
It's like 10:30. And it's nice and quiet. Then I hear my children and I randomly scream, "Go the fuck to sleep." And I blow Rem's eardrum out. It is what it is. But, so yes, if you are a parent and you are a gamer parent, you already know the struggle, which is why sometimes I can't do Mythic Dungeons, because if he's in here, if my husband's in here too, they have to be asleep in order for us to both be able to do that kind of stuff together.
Actually concentrate, yeah.
Yeah. Especially when we're PvPing. Like, we have to do it later, because when we try to do it earlier, it just doesn't work out. But let's talk about the weekly reset for January 8th, which is on Tuesday. We have the Arena Skirmish event. All you have to do is win 10 skirmishes. If you don't have anybody to do them with, just queue in. Like, queue in as a healer. Somebody will want you. Queue in as a tank, guys. Go against the grain. Let's shake things up. Shall we? Is that not a good idea? Should I not be telling them to queue in as tanks?
No, go for it. But I'm just laughing at Kawaii.
Oh, fuck. I even did it. I just forgot to activate it. I actually did the LinkedIn command. I just forgot to activate it. Shit. I'm a failure, but it's there. I just have to activate it. I'll do that during some point. It'll be there by next week. At least I got halfway there. Living on a prayer? No. The brawl for the 8th is no.
What does that even mean?
You're living on a prayer.
Well, no.
What?
What does that even mean?
What is what?
Whatever Blow is talking about. What does that even mean?
Well, I could get into the specifics of what
I don't think
different roles are. I did make reference on stream the other day about you were more of a femme.
Wow.
Which is in the same, So it's not even cultures. It's just in lifestyles.
I don't even have alcohol.
There's just different things. Like, you should Google it. I wouldn't Google it while you're on the show, and I would make sure that you maybe Google it on your phone so that it doesn't show up in every search you've ever had on your computer, because Googling certain things, you know, it's a mixed bag, guys. You have to be real careful. Yeah, FemRem. FemRem. Okay, so the obscure music references is really because sometimes Rem's dad jokes like leak over, and that's where they leak over too. At least you knew them, right? I mean, that's a good...
I do music puns all the time.
You have the best puns, except they're not the best puns.
You're right.
But they're not the worst. My husband's are equally as bad.
I just remember the off topic, but when I was helping you guys move, and I tripped over like a weight, and Dark, the beautiful man that he is, goes, "Wait!" It was amazing. It's so bad that it's good.
The life. You need that though in life, really. PvP Brawl for Tuesday the 8th is going to be Warsong Scramble.
I like that one.
I found, interestingly enough, I do enjoy Gravity Laps. I thought that I hated it. Now, keep in mind, I didn't have a lot of data, right? Because when the PvP Brawls were first introduced, I was stepping into them, but I wasn't really doing a whole lot of PvP. Not like I am now, which is half of my World of Warcraft time. It might even be more than half now, is pretty much PvP focused. But I liked it. I had a great time with Gravity Laps.
And my problem with Gravity Laps was the fact that it was Eye of the Storm. And when you have a battleground that is not your favorite, and then they add a factor into it, it's like, why would I still have fun with it? When all it is one little factor where it shoots you up in the air. But I could see it being fun if you're actually doing the objectives and stuff.
Eye of the Storm is my favorite 4-rated battlegrounds. If you're in an organized instance, I enjoy.
Yeah, organized. Yeah, I mean it's about mid-range for me, but
you got people that don't know what they're doing.
Twin Peaks and Warzone, I like capture the flag objectives.
And you're just running around, and everybody is just fucking in La La Land watching Netflix, doing their own thing, just in there for no particular reason. It's not very helpful.
I love when they fight in that corner where all the roads meet right before flag area.
That's where you fight. Amazing. That's where you're supposed to fight. You fight on roads, Rem. This is how you get good. You
got to fight for your right to fight on roads.
Yeah, you fight on roads. And even my minion fights on roads. My demon. My Voidwalker, Kilton. He just fights on whatever roads. He doesn't give a shit. Well, I don't really use my Voidwalker in Battlegrounds. I use my Fel Puppy. But my Fel Puppy's no better. He will be fighting across the map, and here I am trying to spell lock.
Well, he's trying to interrupt all the things, and
I'm trying to spell lock and trying to shut down this priest from casting heals, and here he is on the other side helping the flag carrier that isn't.
Why does it got to be a priest?
Well, because usually priests are the ones I aim to shut down, but it's not because I don't love priests, but I don't.
I'm personally attacked.
Yeah, what are objectives? Kill until killed. That's essentially, I think, everybody's mindset going in. And that leads me to a good discussion that I want to talk about, but remind me to get back to that. I need somebody that's responsible to remind me to get back to that.
Get back to that.
What am I getting back to, Rem?
Kill or be killed.
Battleground mentality.
Kill or be killed. Yeah.
Remind me to get back to that after this. Dark Moon Fair is going to be on the 6th, so take advantage of your experience and reputation buff that you get from the carousel, also the top hat. And, you know, those of you that are completionists and are getting various things inside Dark Moon Fair, pets, whatever, then there's the... What's the mount called, Rem?
Oh, that little Zeppelin thing?
Yeah, what's it called? The
Durga. The dirigible.
Exactly, that right there. If you are a completionist, now you can go in there and do the things. If you're new to World of Warcraft, you do not have to do Dark Moon Fair if you don't want to.
No, you have to. It's part of the process of getting into World of Warcraft.
The problem is like, I think new players that aren't aware of what its purpose is, what its origins are, they make an assumption that you have to go in and do these things. You don't have to. It's, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's not much a need. It's more of a convenience if you're leveling, or it's just fun.
I gotta be really honest. Dark Moon Fair doesn't provide anything for me at this stage.
Oh,
It
yeah?
isn't
Well,
because I'm complaining or anything. I know a lot of people love Darkmoon Faire, and I think that's awesome. And I think you need to use the utility that you can get from there. And I think those little games are fun. Like, there's a lot of things about Darkmoon Faire that, you know, I can appreciate. For me personally, at this stage, with them not really adding anything new to it, there isn't, you know.
not right meow.
Right. Like,
Soon, TM.
right. Increasing and improving, that gives it relevancy and it makes me want to go back in there. But I know there's a lot of people that are like diehard Darkmoon Fairs.
I'm not in there weekly. I'm at every reset for it. I'm not there.
Every time Darkmoon Fair's open, we have a set of guildies that just live in there, which, you know, handle it. Whatever is good for you and what is fun for you is what you should be doing. Unless
You should pin that on a.
unless you're queuing as a tank in
Board.
PvP.
What's wrong with that? What if I need to capture the flag? What if I need to hold an objective?
You shouldn't be a tank in arenas. Let me clarify. I can semi be okay with tanks in battlegrounds, but you should not be a tank in arenas. One could
But
argue
your
Blizzard.
boy Bean did it.
Well, I know. And the argument there was, it was kind of on Blizzard. Blizzard should make them not viable in PvP, but Blizzard wants everybody to play what they want to play in PvP.
I mean, I remember the days when 2 blood DKs were in 2s and no one can kill them. I think that was Mop, actually.
It was
That was
Mop.
amazing.
It absolutely was Mop. That, in fact, is where my rage was born. Because Mop was really popular for...
You merely adopted it. I was born in it.
Mop was really popular for botters, the multi-boxers, not botters, the multi-boxers.
Yeah,
We would
there was a
go
lot
in,
of LA shamans.
we would go in, we would Q3s, and there would be 3 fucking paladins, and I'm just like, really?
Wow.
Like, what do I do here? Do I just sit here? Like, are we gonna dance,
What
or
we're gonna do? So I'm gonna piss and moan.
are we gonna do-si-do? Like, what actually is going to happen in this instance? Really is important. There's no hot fixes.
Just die.
Nothing going on really, unless I missed them, but I looked far and wide. So there's that. No, blood decays. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Fuck, Pepperidge Farm cookies sound so good right now. Anyway, okay,
Pepperidge
see,
Farm remembers.
here comes Gabe to derail. Quick news, there isn't really anything going on at the moment outside of some discussion things that we're going to talk about. But for raid information, obviously we are on the heels of the end of this tier. Hopefully, those of you who do not have your AOTC, whether you're trying for normal AOTC or you're trying for heroic AOTC, make sure you get that. If you got to beg, borrow, and steal to get it, nobody will add you to shit on Raider.io shit if you do not have AOTC for something, even if it's not relevant. Unless you have it, people...
Yeah, it could be like a guild alt run for their alt run, and they'll need AOTC.
Yeah. So it's kind of like having an ID being 21. It gives you access to things, and without it, you have to make your older brother buy you alcohol.
Around out here where we can have a fake ID though. So.
Yeah, but you have to like go through different steps to be able to do that. But seriously, and if
Yeah,
you're part of the problem with the people that are making these pre-made shits and doing these pug things, and you're requiring for a mythic plus up to 5+, right? Maybe you're doing, keys 2 to 5 and you're requiring AOTC. I need you to do me a really huge favor. And I don't want you to take this personal, because this isn't a personal attack on you as a human. This is a comment to you as a player. If you are that guy who does that, I want you to find the nearest cliff, and then I want you to jump off of it. You don't need a parachute. You don't need any floaties. You don't need a goodbye note. I just want you to do that. And the reason I want you to do that, and let me just be clear, I mean in World of Warcraft, guys. So before somebody tries to ban me because I'm saying things on Twitch I shouldn't be, seriously, find a cliff and just jump. There's lots of tall cliffs in World of Warcraft. I can think of 3 off the top of my head. Mountains.
Oh, yeah, what are they?
The one in, is it Stormheim? No.
Oh, I thought you meant like the
High
actual
Mountain.
names. I'm disappointed.
Well, it's like Mount Everest. I can't remember what it's called. I don't know their actual names, but I know where they're located. There's the one in Pandaland that you actually had to go to the top and meet with Rathian to do cloak things. If you remember that. It was like the
I thought you were
Hollis-
going to choose the one where you go for the leader of the Pandaren. It's like the Kunlai Summit.
Oh, yeah, that too.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so just do that. Just,
Yeah, I heard that mountain
that.
is pretty high.
and, you know, don't be a bad human, guys. Don't fucking be unrealistic. Guys, that hurts people's feelings. And it is even about hurting people's feelings. It's about be a good human. 2018 was what? What was the theme for 2018, Rem? Oh
What do
my
you mean?
God. What was my theme for 2018?
Be a better human.
No. Well, naturally. Can-do attitude, right?
Oh, yeah. Hashtag self-starter.
Yeah, so this year, for 2019, we're still going to carry over that can-do attitude because I think it was so good. Like, from at home to friendships, like saying, hello, can-do attitude. I even used it at work, and I felt like it was really, really positive. So I'm going to keep continuing to use that. But being a better human, I think, is something that people forget to do. And this is wrapped so much into gaming. It's easy to be behind a keyboard and to be an asshole because there's no ownership there, right? There's nothing, you don't need to worry about anything that you're doing because you're anonymous to a certain degree. But I just want you to know that you're not really anonymous because everybody has a digital trail. I just want to point that out. So you're not really hiding. But that wasn't a threat before anybody gets, crazy. But being a better human, it takes many to change a culture. And I mean this community culture. It takes many. Even if you're the only one doing it, eventually more will follow, more will join. And that's going to be what this year is about. So we're going to start next week. I should have my first round and explanation of my thing that I had talked about a couple weeks ago that I wanted to do, which is going to be like my in-game, kind of like my in-game challenge. It'll be my weekly in-game challenge where you'll, win love and hugs and prizes and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's to get people kind of involved. And I'm excited about that. But be a better human in general.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah.
Just think
Better
to yourself before you say or do a thing in game. Would I say this to my mother? That
know you
leaves
would.
a very small amount of things that I can't say.
As for you, it's very, 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 very
Yeah,
limited.
because for me, my mom, she has a bigger mouth than I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Same with my mom.
yeah,
so.
like there's the sky's the limit, really. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to hear my my air. I have it off and
Bro, it's like 30 degrees outside.
pieces and parts are sweating, bro. Like this is what happens when you are lit. I'm joking, guys. Don't get crazy. Okay. Get your AOTC. You have until the new tier is out. The new raid. I really hate that they made the name the capital. It's so crazy because now I barely I can say most Zandalar things.
Wait,
but
they changed the name?
is it not the battle for Dazaralar?
Oh, I thought you said they changed it to the capital or something.
No, isn't Dazaralar the capital of Zandalar?
Yeah,
Or, no?
it's the capital city of the Zendalaria, yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was wrong. I was going to say, that's weird, because I even checked the map to make sure that I didn't mess it up. January 22nd, day before my birthday. Normal and heroic difficulties. January 29th, Mythic and Raid Finder Wing 1, because remember, they split up the whole raid into wings for LFR. The minimum item level required for this specific tier is going to be 350. So if you're new and you're trying to get stuff, use the current LFR and Mythic Pluses to beef you up in item level so that you can do Wing 1. And February 12th is going to be Raid Finder Wing 2, and February 26th is going to be the final wing of LFR for this tier. So, do rate things. Go ham sandwich.
Yeah, kill stuff.
Yeah.
Do all.
Maybe don't kill everything, but
No, everything. Like, pull out an Anakin and just purge. Well, you could be like Arthas too. Shit. Wait, maybe Arthas is Anakin.
wouldn't that be an interesting spoiler? That would be an interesting spoiler. Yeah, there's a lot of birthdays in January. Angie, I didn't know your birthday was in January. I swear we were born from the same womb, except we weren't, but it feels like we were. I wanted to tell you guys in advance, you don't need to acknowledge my birthday at all. I don't need you to acknowledge my birthday at all.
That means acknowledge it.
No. This is not one of those things that we do because we really want the attention. Like, I like my birthday because I enjoy celebrating the fact that I'm alive because it's good for me.
Yeah, living is usually good. Yeah.
You know, had my dad used a condom, I wouldn't be here. So, like, I'm excited about living and having that story to tell. But I had been panicked the other day because, I don't really remember my age. The only reason I know my age is because my husband reminds me. So this whole year I've been saying...
Yeah, you're going to be turning 28 this year, yeah?
Well, yeah, but the whole year I've been saying I'm 37. Since last January I've been saying I'm 37. But I'm not 37, I'm 36. I'm going to be 37. I still think he might be wrong. I don't know. I feel like he just is telling me that. There is a reason, like, I thought 37. I don't know, but I panicked because I thought I was already 37 and was like, fuck. Really? I'm going to be 38? Like, is this real?
So, you jumped ahead on your year without realizing you jumped ahead on your year.
Yeah, I think I was mentally preparing myself for the age. They say that you're only as old as you feel. If that was the case, I wouldn't be able to walk.
I'm like 50, so yeah. In that case.
I am... Aging in this world is easy. Aging when you are a scrub content creator is not helpful at all whatsoever. Gonna need to get some Botox, guys, and I'm gonna need you guys to not judge me, okay? We can make that a thing. That would be fantastic. So let's talk about... I don't want to do that same favorite thing in 2018 for World of Warcraft. Favorite blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about things that were positive in 2018 that are memorable as a whole. Because in order to be able to talk about the stuff that we want to change or the things that we want to make better, I think it's important that we look at the things that are good. And Rem, I was interested from you. What do you feel like the main success of 2018 from World of Warcraft? And it can be content, it can be lore, it doesn't need to be expansion, it's whatever you feel. It could be a system, whatever you feel was a huge success for World of Warcraft for 2018 from our perspective.
Well, it's related to World of Warcraft because the literature that Christy Golden released last year for the Storm, that was not only a turning point, but it's a good representation of what the future holds for that. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm
gonna acknowledge the sub because I feel like it's important. So there's your donkey roll. Thank you for the sub. Special kid.
Thank you, special kid.
You're awesome. Now you get to be a style boy for life. Well, it's not a style boy for life. You're a style boy as long as you're giving $4.99 a month.
Exactly.
Or your free Prime subscription. Which, if you have Prime, you get a free subscription every month to the channel of your choice. I don't use mine on hours. I'm kind of a jerk.
I do.
I use mine on... I support my girl. She's my boo.
Let's go.
The girl. He's too, like...
Yeah, he's a little too...
Yeah, but I do. She gets my free sub just because she's awesome. Wow. Okay, so... That was the big success you think World of Warcraft had?
For me, because I love the story and I love the literature.
Game related.
That is game related,
no,
bro.
no. Game related.
Okay, fine. Game related. We had a successful rating throughout this. Well, towards the end, we're in the process of.
Not
But
our successes. World of Warcraft as a game maker. Blizzard's successes.
I feel like this is like the anger management scene where it's like, no, tell me about you, Dave.
Yeah, but I'm trying to I want to point out the positive things that World of Warcraft developers have done this year, done in 2018 for World of Warcraft.
Consistent updates.
I mean, yeah.
For me personally, it would be in terms of the game, the allied races.
Yeah, I have to
We
agree.
got new ones and the armors and just keeping everything fresh and not stagnant or complacent with stuff going on.
I agree with
Because
that.
I mean, that always bugged me about WoW is all this stuff is going on in Northrend or in Outlands, and everything in the background or on the back burner is kind of overshadowed by everything that's going on. Why not update everything as we're moving along, like with the dwarf and the blood elf currently, the armor? Like, why?
I agree. I
Keep
think
everything somewhat relevant. Not like to where you're spreading all the resources thin, but just sprinkle the love everywhere.
And I think
Sounds weird. Yeah.
I used to be of the mindset that in order to be real World of Warcraft fanatic, enthusiast, knowledgeable content creator, that it had to be something that you literally played 24/7, right? And myself learning the ability to say it's okay that I am not playing World of Warcraft every 5 minutes. Like, that's okay for me because
That's
that's
something
how
you learned a lot this past year.
Yeah, that's how you...
Yeah.
You really limit yourself when you put yourself in that box. And I was in that box for a really long time. Like, I never would have even thought to play another game on the PC that wasn't World of Warcraft 3 years ago. I would refuse. And, you know, now, it's okay that there isn't something to do every single day in World of Warcraft. It's okay that you go a day or two without having a focus that's important to you. Those things are okay. Because as long as there's enough throughout the month for there to be gameplay to happen that makes your subscription worth it, you're not having to really pay out of pocket if you are good at gold making or whatever the case may be. There's different ways to be able to pay for your subscription, so it's not really that big of a deal. That's why when all these people get on the Twitters and they're crying about removing their subs. Why are you telling people you're unsubbing? Just unsub. Get the job done. Move along. You don't have to announce to the whole world. No one gives a fuck that you have unsubbed. No one cares, I promise you. There isn't one person that is going to go knocking on your door, begging you to come back to World of Warcraft. Because all in good time, guys. It isn't for everyone all the time. And sometimes, you know, it's also situational, too. It's also... Rem mentioned the content. That's important. Like I said, it doesn't have to be something that keeps you playing every single second of every day. But it's important to keep it relevant. Like, there's times in between raid tiers where there isn't a million things that I need to do at once. Not like at the beginning of an expansion. So I can go and bang out, you know, Battlegrounds with the husband and you, or go do whatever stuff I need to do for the guild, and then be good. Doesn't need to be a ton of stuff. But I agree. I think World of Warcraft hit the mark there. I think that was the allied races too was huge because it kind of opened the door for constant new flavor to be added.
Yeah, it's not even about the new content. It's just making it more options are never a bad thing.
Yep.
Well,
I think as long as we stay away from... I know we've talked a lot about, like, we would like better customization for our characters so that we can be a little bit different than others, right? Like, I feel like identity, it's really hard in a game like World of Warcraft where there isn't a ton of options for customization. Then I play another game that it has way too much customization, and I'm stuck there for 7 or 8 hours.
That's
Just trying to get my fucking ankles right. You know what I'm saying?
gotta get rid of those cankles.
Yeah. And then I'm really grateful that it's okay because we have other ways to show our uniqueness. The mounts we choose, the tabards, the transmogs.
That'd be more like what maybe the role-playing community, because I mean, when you have transmogged armor, you're not going to see any of those effects really anyway.
The role-playing
and I
community.
mean, probably what like majority of the community probably plays like zoomed out. Like I used to raid where I couldn't even see my person. Like before they removed that the global string that you would able to go past the camera Mac.
You could re-enable that though.
Oh, you can? Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, it was like /far camera distance, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
there's an add-on.
Advanced
something. I have it. It shows you the options that were removed with Legion. Was it Legion? BFA. Legion.
One of those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. Like super easy. Advanced something.
Because I didn't care much about it because I was still able to get that view distance pretty far. So
yeah, that has like 30 different options that were removed that are in that little add-on. All it does is like pull the strings and allow you to
copy
to do it. But I think the biggest thing that I think World of Warcraft won in 2019.
It's 2019 now.
I mean 18. I think their thought process behind war mode was something that was really obvious to most. But why did we barely get here? If it was that obvious, we wouldn't be barely getting here. You know what I mean? I think that was a step in a direction that was so large. Even if PvP is fucked sometimes, I think that breaking down that wall removes those limitations. Having to force yourself on a server because it's one or the other. I think that was probably, to me, that was probably the biggest win of them all.
Mm-hmm.
For 2018. What would you say was their worst? What was not the winning moment?
The way that they did some of the patching and hotfixes. Like I've complained to you about it before, but the level of hotfixes after patch has been more so this past year than any that I recall, or at least that they made public.
I don't agree with that because since Mists of Pandaria, there is a shit ton of hotfixes after patches and new content. But we only remember what we live in the moment because we get older. So it might seem like it's a lot, but it really isn't a lot.
I've been playing for 12 years, so I don't know.
Yeah, it isn't any more than it usually is.
It just feels like it, I don't know.
I think it's because they're fixing them faster. Maybe.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's more
That's a
public.
theory.
Like before, like they weren't posting a hotfix every week. Like it was like a recap of the past couple weeks or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think while that could be something that they missed the mark on, I think that is a testament to the honesty that Ian has brought to the community when it comes to owning their screw-ups. And I think in an effort for them to be more transparent, it's a mixed bag with them because the second they post something, the community's shitting all up one side and down the other, all over them. It's kind of, at this point, I think they're just complaining just to complain. Jason Shieldwald, he retweeted something Chris had posted about...
Hi. How's it going?
What? Oh, hi. Hey, I haven't seen you on in a while. Is this Maddie or is this a different Madeline? Sorry, I'm getting old. I don't think it's Maddie because I think it's Maddie with a Y. Maybe. I don't know. We love
That one
you.
has a Y.
We love you anyway. Yeah, there was a tweet. Everybody's hating on mobile, and then Ben posts that he's signed on to do a new Marvel mobile game, and all the Warcraft, all the Blizzard fanatics are like, yeah, that's awesome.
So, again...
I don't want to talk about mobile, though, Rem. You know this takes me down a dark path.
That's why I want to fucking know.
Okay, with just a very small, like, I don't want people to comment on YouTube to think that we are reopening that can of worms. What do you think about that?
I think it's horseshit. There's only one Maddie.
So it is Maddie, right?
What are you, the Highlander? There can only be one?
Yeah.
You're right.
There can't be more than one. What do we
got? This comes down to the fact that perception is reality.
Hi, movie. And
are you watching a movie?
No, I'm trying to acknowledge people in chat.
No, I know. Because his name's movie. Anyways, perception is reality, because they even said there's no big announcement for the thing. I'm not even going to say that.
Yeah, you can't even say the name, because the second you say the name, all the listening devices in the entire world are going to...
And then they made it
send you hate
like
tweets.
This was like some big announcement when there wasn't a big announcement planned at all. So again, perception reality.
Secrets in the house. Listen.
Don't do that again.
Secret. We have an opening.
No.
I'm just kidding. You have bad habits. His work life is too insane. They just change up his schedule too much on a whim. Bill can't handle that. It gives me...
Well, he's got a lady friend.
Yeah, we need Secret. We need the priesty. Okay, so here's the thing about 2019. Everything else in 2018, there isn't a whole lot of like gripes that I have as a whole, right? I'm pretty happy. But I want to talk about 2019 in the sense of a few things that I would like to see. We would like to see. But before we do, hi Callie, I want to talk about esports. Who here that's watching right now has been worried because we haven't seen esports announcements? Is anyone here worried about the future of esports for World of Warcraft?
I'm freaking out, Belle. What is going on?
You are strangely calm for freaking out. You're a terrible actor.
Can't you see the surprised look on my face?
Well, I had been a part of a conversation where I had to exit the conversation because it was making me stupider by the second. But panic and uneducated, those two things are not healthy, right? They don't meld together. And the discussion was like, they're going to do what they did with Heroes, like all this stuff. I wouldn't be concerned, and I'm going to tell you why you don't need to be concerned. Go to worldofwarcraft.com. Check out the recent post by Adrian, who's been doing write-ups on MDI and on pro arena players and on recaps of 2018. Go do all of those things on the World of Warcraft page. Read all that stuff. And Adrian, he's healing stat. He was a caster. I don't think he's going to be doing that capacity. I don't actually know what capacity he's doing. I try to not ask because I'd rather wait till they announce it, so that I can't keep secrets very well, right? So I try to avoid knowing that.
We have a secret, though.
We do have a secret sauce. And the secret sauce is that... The secret in the sauce is that there is no secret.
It's just mayo and ketchup, guys. Okay?
Maybe with a little salt and pepper. I don't really know. But yeah, go take a gander over there. Check out that stuff that Adrian's been writing up. Check out the nature in which it's being written. I don't think we have to worry about the future of esports. And if I had to take a guess, I would have to take a guess that we could probably see a doubling of prize pool, World of Warcraft wise. We'll probably see
like cupcakes.
A doubling of the prize pool. And I don't think it's because, for any other reason other than, if you look back at budget, again, if you look at the two different games, the one was like 11 million, quadruple the amount
And
of
maybe
prize
they
money.
realize they're funneling into the wrong deal.
Well, and I don't know it's necessarily if it was the wrong thing, but I think maybe they saw returns on something last year and they decided that maybe they need to put some more money into it. But
Well, I mean, with the hype that was around methods streaming for the raid and the hype for the PvP, and I mean, MDI was almost louder and more packed than the Arena Championship.
like very close, similar. Like I would have thought that it was an arena championship had I not.
And I was walking by and I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, it's the MD. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And that's an amazing thing because
Yeah.
and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit too with the streaming of the raids. I think they used to be hype, right? Remember at BlizzCons when they would do the world first race or they would do the raid races and they stopped being fun because I think Blizzard forgot how to make them fun. Maybe we as a community didn't know at the time back then how to make them fun. Maybe it was ahead of its time, right? Maybe now's the right time and place.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to point out again, Method, it's in backwards because my camera's backwards. You're just going to have to get over it. Streamed the world first race as it was happening, and they still got world first, guys. I don't think people understand what that means. I want to make sure that we're clear. They showed their hand as the cards were being dealt, and they still won. To be fair, though, they might not have pulled it off because if Limit...
They extended the lockout.
Yeah, if Limit would have extended, it would have been... Because Limit is a great guild as far as when there isn't assholes in there, right? Like, you can't blame the entire guild, especially when they've worked really hard to clean it up. But I can't hate Limit because we got Trill from Limit. How could I hate Limit? Like...
I mean, I don't know about hate, but you can still...
No, I have so much respect for them, and it isn't... I mean, I had respect for them prior because some of their leadership I like. But I really... Like, we got... Trill is still a member. He does Mythic Pluses, and he raids with Limit, and he PvPs for Method. Like, I can't be mad about that because it's Trill. And Trill's mom follows me on Facebook, guys. We're official. Like, I have to love her forever. Because, yeah. But it's going to be good because here's the thing. I don't want Method to always win.
Because then that gets boring.
Because then it's boring. It's not good TV, guys. That doesn't make good drama on TV. The only way to make good drama on TV is for people to get smarter. They're down Roger, too, because Roger is in the... He was deployed, so...
Oh, yeah.
Roger's out for, I think he's been out a month, so he's got like 7 more months. So they're without Roger. Kana better bring it, though. He had a nice vacation, and he better quit crying on his damn Twitter. If he's watching this, you know I'm right. You're crying all day on Twitter. Get over it. I need to see the stuff. But it's good. Competition is good. So don't worry about the future of World of Warcraft. We don't need to be concerned with such things because I think we're okay. I think the passion that this community has is, I think the only other thing I could compare it to is probably Overwatch in nature of passion, right? Overwatch is really smart. The way that they've marketed Overwatch is fucking genius.
Oh, yeah.
Jerseys, that gives fans ownership of something.
Yeah, especially the fact that they have them designated to cities, even if they're not. And now I don't follow it as closely as I should because it's interesting, but they actually have a home games now where it's in that actual city. Whereas before it was always like in the Burbank area of California. So I mean that just makes it even better for the hype of just being local and calling it your team.
Yeah,
instead of like with any other game, it's like you either follow the player or you follow like the organization. Now it's like you have ownership, like you said.
Yeah, then when you give fans, whether it's, and there's various types of ownership. There's cultural ownership. There's region-based ownership. When you give fans that control, it's fucking smart, actually, and it makes you wonder. I don't think that they could do that with World of Warcraft. I don't think that makes sense.
Off topic. Fuck Dallas, Angie. Okay.
Well, so, and here's the thing. I don't... FPS isn't my vibe. It's not my get down. I don't particularly like it. I don't really watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really my thing. But whatever. I don't really care. It doesn't have to be my thing. It really doesn't. But they were smart in their marketing there.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch makes the money. I know Overwatch makes the money. So I'd like to see them continue to put into World of Warcraft because, again, what have I been saying for the last... Since esports for World of Warcraft started to grow and bleed over into, like, the MDI. As long as they're continuing to use esports as a means to provoke players to continue to play and bring new players, it also holds them accountable for the changes that they make because these guys in the community are loud. And that accountability is good for us. It's good for us. There's so many different ways this is good for us because that accountability makes it where they have to pay attention to things that they might deem trivial when that guy who's project manager and says this is getting put at the bottom of the priority list on the fucking Jira Scrum board that week because he woke up in a bad mood. This helps hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, they're not impervious to taking their eye off the ball because they do. They forget. I wouldn't say they forget. I would say that they make assumptions because sometimes I think they don't have that ability to be able to think of it from our perspective. As much as they say that they do, I don't really think that they do. Not all the time.
I mean, yeah. Like, yeah. No matter what you do, if you're doing it so long, then you kind of lose that perspective.
Yeah. And, you know, we're in a time where we're going to be story-wise, I don't know if it, 2019 or 2020 or what that even looks like, but I'm ready for the expansion announcement or story that says Bell was correct and we are getting off this fucking rock for an entire expansion. I'm waiting for that leak, announcement, anything that says, I don't know. Then I'm going to be really sad if it doesn't happen. I don't think it might not happen this expansion, but I feel like by 221.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Why? Here's the thing. I used to love Lore, right? I absolutely loved him. And I loved him because he was different and he wasn't afraid to be who he is and his weird, awkward, all those things. And then what happens is people start to change and don't realize that that's what they're doing. He's still a super nice guy, but he doesn't have the appeal as a nerd as he used to. Now he gets like hairstyling tips and he wears suits and all these things.
What if I started wearing suits?
I just feel like it, when you got more product in your hair than I do. It was needed because some of that shit was a little out of control. He had some frizz.
I don't have any product in my hair.
But I don't know. I don't know. I like him as a person.
Belle, what if I came on the show next week with a blazer?
I don't think I could talk to you. No, he just, I don't know. He's not as approachable as others are. And that sucks. That's all I'm going to say about that. But
that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. That's just, it's what happens.
I mean, have you seen something about Mary? It works really well, Gabe.
Whoa. To that end, though, I know you guys saw that thing about the new moderation that's happening with Overwatch in the Twitch chat, where if you want to actually talk in Twitch chat during the Overwatch stuff, you have to link your account to your Battle.net so that they have a means to be able to shut you down because anybody can be anonymous on the internet, but if you want to be able to talk, you have to link your Twitch to your through this little, I don't know what the
Wait, are you talking about like the forums?
No, Twitch chat during the Overwatch.
Oh.
The quarterfinals and their, those big games. So
Where it has to be like what, like a authenticated account?
So that you can be held accountable for the shit you say in chat.
That's what they should do. The same thing for the WoW forum, so you can't post on a goddamn alt, you little bitch.
Well, here's the thing: even if you post on an alt, you can click their alt and go to their account and find out.
Yeah, but I don't care enough to dig into that.
If you're mad enough, you care enough. I just want to point that out if you're mad enough. But I think I think they're testing that with Overwatch, and I'd like to see them do that with World of Warcraft, because I fucking hate watching Twitch for World of Warcraft stuff. Hate it. Because if I forget to close the chat so I don't have to look at it, it's just AIDS and throw up all over chat. It's absolutely not fun to engage in or watch, and it triggers some emotions, right? Especially when you're a zealot about some things, or when you're super like loyal and you have people in the chat running their fucking mouths about Method and like Method's winning, and you're trying to keep up that hype, and like they're being not antagonists, they're being insulting, really. But yeah, I hope that bleeds over. So if you're one of those trolls, you're not going to be able to talk in chat while they're testing. And I think they're testing to see, how the functionality of it there is. But I think it's important, because I would love to see it. QAs. Yeah. I would love to see it, because I would like to see some more constructive things come out of chat in Twitch instead of
actually, on that point, I like them to actually use QAs to actually answer questions that are submitted.
It's funny that you mention that. I don't remember the last Q&A that actually gave information. Do you? Are you dead? Did you die? Didn't you? That is something that I want Blizzard to focus on in 2019. If you're going to do QAs to continue engaging the community so that you can let us know that you're doing things, if you could please find whoever is in charge of pulling those questions, either train them or fire them. Whoever is in charge of approving the final approval and tells that person that may or may not be the good question finder that they can't use that question, fire that guy. I don't care who it is in your line of things that the information bumps to. There's probably several tiers of approval for these questions.
Yeah, it probably ends up finalizing through like PR and all that, yeah?
Fire them. Because if J. Allen Breck can go on Twitter and literally break the hearts of thousands for a video game, certainly you can break your PR protocol to allow us to have some honest answers and to actually make use of them. I don't even watch the Q&As anymore. I watch them for show after the fact, but I used to always watch them live. I don't, because it's a waste of my fucking time. I'd rather listen to them while I'm cooking dinner a couple days later, or
it feels like I don't know what to call it, like when it's like an obligated.
Yeah, you know how like when your mom tries to set you up with like her friend's daughter and you feel obligated to go on that date?
Actually, it's my grandma's friend. That was awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Or you're obligated to like talk to your wife because you live with her. Confess to us, Rem. Let's hear confession.
About what?
Let's hear your 2018 confession. Let's take the show in a different direction. Let's hear your 2018 confession that nobody knows. And you can't say FetLife because I've already outed you there.
Not even, whatever. I only have a confession.
You don't have a confession?
Nothing that you don't know.
Oh, I'm sure there's things I don't know.
Nothing that's really like devious or wrong.
Why do confessions have to be devious?
Because there's a confession. Hello?
No. Did you and Envy ride teacups together at Disneyland?
I wish.
Come on, give a confession. Maybe it could be you did something in game that perhaps is not
I was invisible on BattleTag for like 2 days.
I mean, I'm invisible on a whim for no particular reason. Sometimes I just don't want to be social. It isn't because I want to be a jerk. Sometimes I don't want to be social.
I fucking hate that ride. I wouldn't ride that ride for anybody. Sorry.
Oh, Movie's got a confession. While Rem's going to think of a better confession, because that confession sucks.
What's your confession?
You pee while sitting down? Okay, let me be honest. There are times when I'm really happy to be a woman because I get to pee sitting down, right? Then there's other times when it's so inconvenient.
That's awkward.
I don't even know what that is right there.
I'm not clicking on it.
I'm not clicking on it either because it scares me just a little bit. So, no confessions, Rem?
No, I don't have anything to confess.
Dark is right. He does when he's tired. Or if he's playing a game and isn't actually, like, going number 2, he's just in there playing his game. And I will yell. Are you actually using the bathroom, or are you watching a video or playing the game? Because I have to go potty, so if you're actually using the bathroom,
I don't understand the watching a video on the toilet. Like,
it's when you have children, you have a child there, you probably understand.
Okay, yeah, no, if you're hiding, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It's the only place you get uninterrupted. You reported again. That's the best confession ever.
I'm personally affected by that because
no, we cannot shame confessions. We can't shame confessions because they're confessing.
Damn it!
Safe space. We can't shame confessions. I love it. Angelina Jolie. I love Girl Interrupted. Off topic. Did he just say sphincter in chat?
You misspelled sphincter, but
I mean,
sphincter.
Yes, spell check. How did he? Kiko, that is the best confession. That is the best confession. Reported a guildmate's name for being...
What's your confession then, Belle?
Oh, guys, I don't have secrets. There is literally no confessions here. I don't think that there's... I'm pretty transparent. I don't know. I don't know. So I think because I don't have a confession, I'll have to leave it open to where someone can just ask me a question that they think I wouldn't answer because I don't. Please don't make it weird, but I don't really have secrets. I tell everybody on the show everything. Like, the audience knows my entire life story. They even know what scent my toilet paper is. So there isn't... I'm trying to think...
By the way, it's lavender if you don't know.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I do in game that's... There really isn't. That's not really a confession. I tell them...
I'm wearing ladies' underwear.
I tell them the weird stuff that you do. That I'll regret forever.
Picking Warlock.
That's a good question. So what's the one thing in game that I did that I'll regret forever? That is a good question.
Well, there's a couple of them. There's inviting me to the guild. There's making a Warlock. There's letting me heal the raid.
The one thing that I'll regret... The one thing that... That is not a regret, Secret. I'm proud of my time on Moonguard. And that isn't a confession because everybody knows. My Moonguard tune's name is Bottom Bitch. Well, creative spelling. And Secrets is fellatio. I have no shame. Those were fun. I thought I had a fart one time while at Home Depot. It's weird that you would say Home Depot. I currently have a phobia and I avoid the Home Depot here like the plague, but that's for another story.
That could be your.
That could be, you're right. That could be, that's a good confession. That's a good confession. Sometimes, okay, this is actually, I'm going to give myself away. But
No, it's not.
I just need you guys to know that this is not all the time, but there are times when I pretend to be AFK because I don't want to talk to you. And it's very rare that I do that. We're talking maybe 4 times in my entire World of Warcraft life where somebody has gotten under my skin or is a borderline stalkery and all of those things. And I never say that out loud because I don't want people to feel like they can't talk to me. I don't want people to feel like, oh, is this one of those times where she's ignoring me? I don't want anybody to feel that way, so I never speak on these things. But there's probably, if I had to count, there's probably 4 people specifically in my last 9 years that I will pretend to be AFK so that I don't have to talk to them.
I mean, I think everyone has that person.
And I never respond to them. So if I've responded to you, that's a pretty good indication that I'm not pretending to be AFK. Like if I responded to you like 6 hours later, because sometimes I squirrel, guys. Legitimately, I am AFK a lot. But I have pretended to be AFK to not have to engage in a conversation with them. And then when they came out with the ability to be able to hide,
that was just game over.
it's great until you get an achievement and maybe one of the people is a guildie, but that doesn't happen very often either. Usually I find a way to get them to go on their own in a natural fashion. But we're nobody famous, right? We're not that important. I just have a big mouth and I know big people. That's really the only thing I got going for me. So, but even in that, I get a fair amount of, scary sometimes. People think there's an assumption there that because we have a connection on Twitch or we have a connection on Twitter or, I love conversating with people. Like I love talking to people about World of Warcraft. I love talking on Twitter.
They think because you're approachable, they can.
That something happens in that transition where they feel like because they know me, because again, transparent, I don't really know them. So they feel like they are just my best friend in life, but meanwhile, I'm over here like, you're kind of creeping me out. And then I get a dick pic on my birthday last year from somebody who was borderline, borderline. And that was just awful. That was bad business, guys. It was awfully, awfully bad. But I don't want this confession to make it where people don't talk to me, where they don't engage or they don't communicate. Like that's why I never say that, but I just realized I was being a liar when I said I don't have a confession, and I absolutely do. So please don't. You know if you're being a fucking stalker. Like you know if you're the person, like
Yeah, if you have to think about it, hey, you probably are.
Like if you're messaging me my furniture looks great from the lawn, odds are I'm pretending to be AFK.
So I should stop complimenting your interior design?
Right. So it doesn't mean, don't talk to me, none of those things. That's not what that means. Because that's, if I'm online and there's a dot there, it's obviously I want to be conversated with. But there's people that in-game all the time, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We were PvPing a couple days ago, and a rogue ran past me and go, "Are you that lady from Pwnecast?"
Yeah, it's been a minute since that happened, but that used to happen quite a bit. Like there was I
was like, wow.
Like an entire month where there was 4 or 5 BGs I did where people were like, oh, you're in that Pwnecast guild?
Yeah, it's because I quit doing that stuff. That's why.
Yeah.
I 100% quit doing it. People talk to me all the time in Ashran. Be like, hey, are you the same Belle? But that's the whole reason I have a big mouth. It's because I want to talk to people. I want to be passionate about the things that I like with people, and I want to share that, and I want to talk about the good and the bad, and I want to make friends with people, and I want to get to know people so that it isn't just me and Rem giving ourselves to others. I want to be able to, I want to know your story. I want to know those things.
My second job is a secret. God.
Well, is it though?
Steamboat Will.
Yeah. So, and I can't believe I confessed that never would I have ever. And I'm sure those people.
That was Bajira's confession. Like, it was just perfect. Like, you don't expect that from Bajira.
And I try to not hurt people's feelings. I know that sounds weird coming from me, right? Like, who here expects me to say that? Like, what do you mean? You love hurting people's feelings. Guys, the secret that I have, my number one confession, I actually have a lot of feelings. I pretend to have none, but I actually have a lot of them. And
did you just publicly say this?
Yeah, no, I have a lot. That comes with being passionate. But it isn't just passionate about WoW. I'm passionate about many things. And that passion is with the way that I live my life. And in the way that I live my life, sometimes it doesn't agree with others. It doesn't agree with a lot of things. And here you are, forever in a battle. But the one thing in game that I will probably regret forever is I'll probably regret the length of time I went without PvPing because of my emotional connection. I'll probably regret that. Because I was miserable.
Yeah, because yeah.
I was miserable without it in the last couple weeks of that being a good portion of my focus. I miss that. I can't get that time back, right? Like, I'll never get any of that time back. So now I'm having to fight to get that connection back. Not connection, but everything that was muscle memory for me. Which a lot of it still kind of is, but that's probably the one thing I regret. I don't like dueling my friends, guys. When you duel your friends, they're not friends anymore. I'm bitter. Do you dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm bitter. If you kill me in a duel, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I'm going to literally scream at you. Because I'm hateful, guys. Hateful. Just so you know. So, guys, let's talk about lore. Let's talk about the banana bread that's downstairs, because
you have banana bread?
I have banana bread. I had my banana bread up here, but I took it down there.
Was it from Cash?
Yeah, I have one on my nightstand. There's literally a fork.
Wow,
I put the fork in there and covered it with foil because I was eating it earlier. And I have one for up here, but I can't eat on the show. And then I have two others. I'm going to give the other one to the kids.
I asked him at BlizzCon. He said, yeah.
I mean, my bread got lost. Somebody stole, the mailman stole my bread. But I'll share one of the breads with you, but I'm not sharing the other three because I'm selfish. That fucking bread is delicious. I ate half of the first loaf already the second my husband took it out of the box.
The whole loaf would have been gone if
Yeah.
I had it.
I mean, it is. I absolutely. I sent him a picture first of the first bite and then of half of it being eaten, and I have no regrets. But so let's talk about the story, where we've been and where we're going. What is everything leading up to?
Are we skipping something in the notes? Okay. No? Oh, okay. I'm confused. Okay. Anyways, with Darkshore, the Warfront being unveiled, and we're seeing a lot of that war going on, I wanted to do a quick really recap and also talk about theories, because why not? That's fun. So,
warp theories? The theory of relativity?
Yeah.
Gravity, what is it?
All I know is that it helps the Wi-Fi work your microwave.
If your microwave doesn't work, you don't have internet. Jim was our biggest regret of 2018.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, Jim. You weren't a regret.
So this is in relation to the fact that Blizzard mentioned to us, BlizzCon and prior, that this is going to be the battle for Azeroth. As Eastern Kingdoms was going to be mainly Alliance, Kalimdor was going to be mostly Horde. We're seeing a shift on that, where we have Teldrassil being turned into a little burnt husk, ripping pepperoni. and nothing happening with the Horde. So we still have Silvermoon and Exodar. I don't know if they're even going to worry about that or if they're going to have to rework the way it's phased or something. But in terms of the story and the way they wanting to go, we're going to have to either take over Silvermoon, raise it, or maybe the Blood Elves shift.
Can we level it?
Factions. Yeah, that's raising. Raze. Pillage.
I was thinking we were going to raise their kids. Sorry, I'm a mom, so that's,
No.
that's where my brain went. I am a mom, but I am also a killer, so, like,
Yeah.
it could have gone either way. Yeah, can we, like, I'm talking nuclear level, I want a hole in the ground because I would like some vengeance.
Yeah,
Does
no,
that
I
make me
want...
just as bad as Sylvanas?
Yes. But that's okay, because that's what we need, because it's the battle for Azeroth.
Yeah.
Fuck. So on that note, we have both the Night Elves and the Worgans ×2 losing their homelands. So are we just going to have everyone eventually grouped up in Stormwind and Cosmodon and go about their ways? Or what's the future? Are we going to go to an ancient homeland on Azeroth? Are we going to go to battle? We don't know yet. But that's what I wanted to know, because the way they're going is they're focusing so much on the raids when, yeah, we're getting the Siege of Dazar Alar, so we're seeing that battle for Azeroth, but what's happening with all of the homes? Like, are we going to retake Teldrassil eventually, or is Teldrassil completely just gone? Like, the Spirit and the Wisp are just not even allowed to go, but can't even go to the island anymore because the magic's gone.
I've been trying to apply our Infinity War discussions to World of Warcraft in this scenario. Is time travel a thing?
In Azeroth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know we got the timey-wimey portal, and we go to the different alternate timeline for... There's like 20 fucking Guldans, and we kill a different Gul'dan in every timeline and all that. I just want to throw that as a theory. It isn't a real theory, guys, but I'm just saying, like, I've been heavy into this endgame.
I mean, on that, timeline and future and timey-wimey stuff, we still have the fact that Norz Dormu is going to eventually become Marazdan, or Marazon. The Infinity time flight. You didn't do a lot of Cataclysm. So there's the End of Time, where you learn about
Yeah.
Dormu, the Bronze Dragonflight. He eventually becomes not only corrupt, but he falls and he tries to correct the timelines. So I don't know, that is still up in the air. That could come into factor. Maybe we get sent back and we wake up and we have to go kill Hogger again, and we need like 6 people. Or you shoot into the future, because rolling out of this part, there was that comic that was released by Warcraft where it was a aged Anduin talking to what's his nuts, Velen on Exodar, and they were getting ready for a major battle, and they were both weathered, and there was like well into the future.
How weathered was Velen? I don't remember, because Velen looked
he's
very
already
grumpy.
thousands of years old, but like he looked even older. But Anduin was like older than Varian was, kind of age. So
did he have a wife though? Because I'm trying to figure out who he's gonna marry.
I mean, not in that comic, but so you still have that going on. Like they aren't being really. There's not a lot of foreshadowing in terms of, because we have the Undercity being destroyed by Sylvanas because she's a bitch and bitter, and we can't have Lordaeron.
How do you fix a tree that doesn't exist anymore except soot? How like, if you, let's pretend that we really are.
Well, the same way they built it, because the Dragonflights don't really have their actual powers anymore. They're not immortal, and they're not as powerful they once were. So you don't have Norz Dormu, or you don't even have Ysera anymore because she's dead.
Thanks for bringing that up, jerk. It's taken me this entire year to get over
too soon.
losing Ysera to the fucking
I
nightmare.
mean, yeah, it's still there, but it's like a burnt husk. Like it's all like Eldrassil on one of the trees in, I believe it's Northrend, that was corrupted by Yogg-Saron, so they fell it, and that's actually where some Bolgs lived. And there's a slide.
That's in Grizzly
You can go check
Hills.
it out.
That's my That's my
Yeah.
second favorite place in all of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
You can go down the water slide.
But there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's like, it seems like it's going in the direction that they wanted to, but at the same time, it's like a really slow pace. Like we have 2 major cities that are currently gone. Like you can't go to them anymore for the current content. Like what is, like, are we gonna? We have to go somewhere new. Like at
Who
this
wins?
point, Blizzard.
But I mean, so we talked about this when Battle for Azeroth was announced. We talked about this
Yeah.
when we knew some of the story. Who wins? And why? If Alliance wins, why would Alliance win?
Because we're better.
I don't think Alliance is going to win this war, guys.
But then that, there can't be a winner in this game, though. That's the problem.
There has to be. There has
I mean,
to
maybe
be.
there's an underdog after this, but there's not like a victor 100%.
No, I'm going to be pretty fucking pissed if there's a draw at the end of this fucking war, because you mean I suited up for battle for a fucking year of my goddamn life.
They did it like 2 other times. So,
I'm
why not
tired
again?
of that. Are you not? Like, I need a victor,
Oh, no,
even if it
yeah,
isn't
no.
me. Right? I need a winner. And I need a path that follows. I need the weight to reverberate for some time based off that winner. It could be bad for Alliance or bad for Horde. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I just need there to be a winner. Maybe we have a year where Alliance is just shit on for an entire expansion. It doesn't bother me. We're fucking soldiers, man. Rise up. There has to be a winner. There can't not be a winner. There has to be a winner.
I mean, yeah, at this point, it has to be. But I don't know how they go about doing that.
How would we, how, so, how would Horde be able to win?
What the,
What would be the signifier that says Horde has won?
well, part of that would be actually in Darkshore when Sylvanas and Nathanos, I hate that guy, but anyways, they are able to raise the Rangers and the Warden, Sierra Moon Warden, into being Dark Rangers. So that's kind of like a foreshadowing that the fact that either A, we could have spitballing, but like a third faction where it's Sylvanas split from the Horde and Alliance, and then maybe we join forces again and fight her, or B, one of us gets taken out and we're like the underdog, and I don't know where I could go with that, but there's a lot of stuff that was also like from Cataclysm where we had the camp Taraho was pillaged by some guys in Northwatch Keep, and you have this gate being built in Mulgore. Nothing's been happening with that. They made it seem like we're going to have like maybe a confrontation there, but nothing happens. There's just a giant gate there now. Awesome. So there's a lot of stuff that they can go back on and bring current to help with this battle for Azeroth, make it actually feel like there's a battle for Azeroth. Right now it feels like a battle for Kul Tiras and Zandalar. Which is all fun, but
Dark's kind of touching on a point that is not really a point, but portions of that. I did say that I do think that we are going to have to flee from our planet. I think we might get kicked off. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe, you know, I don't know. But Blow is right. Anduin is naive enough. Even with Gen in his ear. To keep him.
You see that with when he's talking to Varrock Sarfang in the prison, like he lets him out.
Like
I mean,
Anduin he wants peace so bad because he wants his people to stop dying. I get that on an emotional level. Like an emotional level, I get that. But he is naive enough to think that that there is going to be peace, and sometimes, guys, there is too much broken.
Mm-hmm.
With Vol'jin, War Chief, there was a lot of opportunity there because a lot of Alliance respected Vol'jin. It was hard to not respect him. Even if we're at war and you're killing my people, I respect you. I don't respect Sylvanas. I don't think she's the strong, cliche woman warrior character that every fucking story needs in order to get the feminists on their side. I don't think she's the one that sacrificed her entire life for the Horde. Her sad story doesn't mean anything to me, and I don't feel bad for her at all. Whatsoever. I don't. That is not what molded the villain there.
Yes and no. Her current actions kind of...
Her story ain't no worse than anybody else's fucking sad story.
What?
Her story's no worse than other people's really sad stories. It's not really any worse.
A little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
How is it worse? Then give me another story that's equally as bad. How is it worse? Because, you know, to every individual, even a fake NPC, their story is worse to them. Everybody's story is equally...
Yeah, it comes back to perception of reality.
Gut-wrenching. So, who gets to decide what's justified and what isn't?
I'm not saying she's justified at
no,
all.
I'm asking who. Who decides the justification there?
I don't know.
Good question, right?
Yeah.
How do we decide if it was justified? You could justify killing our children by burning down our tree by, you know, Alliance made you do it. Okay. Hit me again, Ike. Seriously, like, that's what it is very reminiscent of. Because that's what the discussion is on Twitter. That Alliance made us do it. Or Alliance, we made her burn down our tree. That's what Ike told Tina every time he hit her, guys.
Wow. Why'd you make me do that?
That is a dominating manipulation. Dominators that know how to manipulate people is what that is. So, let's go into the mind of Sylvanas. Do you feel like she really believes that she's justified in what she's doing, or has she gone Thanos crazy?
Oh, no, she's completely nuts at the moment.
Because there's some respect to be had there for Thanos, even though...
So the problem is that at maybe a while back, she believed that she was justified in prolonging one selfish but her own life, but also her people's life, like the undead. But on the same note, at this point, she's just batshit crazy.
What did we do to deserve the tree getting burned down? What was her justification for the tree being burnt?
I don't think there was any like verbal or written justification.
It was just war declared.
It was a mix of war. Actually, it wasn't actually war at that second. Like, yeah, they just fuck shit up all of a sudden.
I didn't even think about Exeter. I forget about Exeter sometimes. I forget that it exists.
But yeah, on that note, why the fuck didn't we go to the Exeter instead of having them come all the way around to the Eastern Kingdoms to Stormwind?
Yeah.
And why not during Darkshore? Why isn't Velen or any of the Draenei there? The Exeter is right there. I mean, you're an instance away because you're technically in Outlands, but in terms of the story, you're like a fucking rock skip away on an island.
What do you think they're doing?
They're trying to get the hell out of Azeroth.
Velen doesn't run from a fight, though.
I mean, the first time... he's been running for the past thousands of years.
He's running, but he does shit on the side.
What are you saying? He's a dealer?
I'm not saying he's a dealer, but he might be that guy with trench coats.
Like, what do you mean trench coats? Like FBI?
Like trench coats with like watches and shit, and like fake Prada purses that are called like fake Prada purses that are called like Nada.
You
Come
want
on.
Prada? We got Nada.
Fendi except Bendy, like all different kinds of products that are not actual products.
Yeah.
So, because Secret knows he's purchased some on the slide, not Nikes. He purchased some Fikes, probably. You know it's happened. Instead of Adidas, just Adidas. Come on, guys. We've all fallen victim. So I want you guys to think about at home the possibilities of where we go if there's a winner. I want you guys to take in your mind, let's pretend, and you could pick a scenario, whichever one you feel like you want to
okay, so yeah, let's say we're able to Azeroth, Jesus Christ. Alliance is able to be the victor, and we're able to fight back the Horde. Like, do they go back to Draenor?
How do we
hide in caves and
how
mud
does this
huts
walk
and
away?
shit?
How do we end the game if there's a winner? Where do we go? If we lose, what do we do? I could tell you what I would do, but what does I don't know what my king does.
Game?
What?
I load up another game.
No.
Oh,
There's a resistance that happens. You cannot control people on a mass level because they will form resistances.
I mean, that's Durnhold Keep. You have the encampments of the orcs coming out, and you have Thrall, Grom, and all that
Yeah,
good
you
stuff.
try to kill me, or you try to make me your slave, I don't bow to no one. I'm gonna cut your kneecaps off, and I might have to kill your dog too because it's war. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to see the end and what possibilities we have beyond the end, because I feel like when we're going through the story, it's important to have a direction.
What if we're both the losers?
That was my other theory, remember? My other theory
we're going up against
an old god. Several maybe, right?
Oh, so yeah, we're going up against Ashar first, and then we're going to go up against N'Zoth. But behind all the old gods, you have the Void Lords that are out in the Great Dark. And honestly, there's no way of us beating them, even if we have the Titans, even if we have the Teen Titans or the Tennessee Titans.
Fuck you, I love the Teen Titans. And do you even remember the Titans?
Yeah, I do.
Was that not good? No?
No, that was a good one.
But I agree with you. What if we lose? And I'm not saying that the end of this expansion means we kumbaya together. I don't want to fight beside Horde anymore. I'm over that. I want you to stay on your fucking side of the neighborhood, and I'll stay on my fucking side of the neighborhood. And I don't ever want to look at your face. Unless you have somewhere at a vendor that I need, then I'm going to go over there. But other than that, I don't want to look at your face. I want to kill you.
Yeah, Ant-Man is going to come help us with quantum theory.
Right. But that has been my theory about how we get off this planet. I think we are going to be forced out, and I think you're going to see two different stories. You're going to see the Horde story maybe on, maybe we land somewhere else, and then Alliance lands somewhere else, and maybe we have an entire expansion where never the two shall meet, because we're each fighting our own struggle. That would be fucking genius from a content perspective. What better way to force people into each faction to go through that gameplay if it's completely separate? And I'm talking like...
Not just doing the same thing, different outcome. Yeah.
Different... Could be each on a different side of another planet that we land on. Or maybe, you know, we go different directions and there's two... I don't know, but how smart would that be from a content perspective?
I mean, there's still... there's a possibility of there being more nascent world souls out in the Great Dark, so maybe that could become an objective as we get our asses kicked by the dark Jesus Christ, the Void Lords, and then we help the Pantheon search out more Titans in the world souls, something like that maybe.
That's actually really smart. And each side would have their own directives, their own agendas, their own struggles, even. And
that would open up a story that opened up new races, new interactions, new objectives, new everything.
Now, people are going to say, but Belle, there's so much more to Azeroth to explore. Guys, I'm not saying to abandon the planet. I'm saying that I think for story's purposes, I think that there's only one direction they can go.
I don't like the band though.
So I'm not saying we won't be back, but I think too many endgame things have happened the last 2 expansions. There's been too many closures. Oh my god, World of Warcraft Fugees. Yes, refugees. Because, again, how emotionally devastating would it be that we actually have to feel the weight of having our planet taken? Then we understand the Draenei, don't we? What if we're put in their shoes, where we have to spend an
They can't wear shoes, though.
Where we have to spend an entire expansion searching, maybe like you said, searching for Titans, looking for, maybe we gotta get a fucking big-ass giant stick, and the only way to get that big giant stick, because you gotta take down the neighborhood bully, is to go to the cosmos. I firmly believe, guys, I have to stick to my guns here, that I think that's the reason that we had those fucking rifts. I firmly believe that's why we had those rifts.
What rifts?
Those rifts that we had.
That's a different game, though.
No, it's they took the same concept. What are they called? Not incursions.
Invasions?
Yeah, the ones you had to go through the portals. You went to the different cosmos around the world.
Oh yeah, the Legion invasions.
Yeah, I stand by my statement that there was a reason Blizzard did that, because Blizzard doesn't do anything by chance. So I stand by my statement that there's always foreshadowing that we fail to see, because they're really, really good at pointing you in one direction so that you don't see it. So while, yes, there's lots of things that they need to wrap up here, and there's so much lore and all this stuff that people always say when I give this theory, there's a lot of people that are like, that's impossible. We have all this stuff to do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there was stuff in Cataclysm that foreshadowing that stuff going on now. For instance, if you go down into Deepholm and you look up, it's the N'Zoth is sitting in there.
I think that's what we're going to see. That's my theory. Keep in mind, I'm not the lore guy. Fucking envy. But I'm not the lore guy, but I think it's important that you guys think in terms of thinking larger, because I guarantee you Blizzard is thinking larger. And the reason Blizzard is thinking larger is because they spend a fair amount of time defending themselves in their actions.
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten to a place where we can easily predict not only Blizzard's behavior in their releases and things that they're going to do next, we're getting strangely good at being able to predict the story, even with their misdirection. We're getting strangely good at that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to pop something out of the woodwork. And I just want to tell you that while nobody at Blizzard has confirmed my theories, because of course I ranted them to a lot of people. When I say ranted them, I was fishing to see if I could get a twinge in the eye or a facial expression that said maybe Belle is on the right path. Most of the time, they're pretty stone-faced about it. They got pretty good poker faces, but there was one who had a face that I did catch when I said some things in regards to that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, I'm sure I didn't just predict an entire expansion, guys, but what if I did? Like, if I accurately picked an entire expansion, would I be, like, Allcraft level famous, or would I be, like, Bellular level famous? Like, what level famous would that put me in? Or would it not even give me any fame at all? I would just be labeled the crazy Doomsayer in Dalaran.
None of the above. You'd still be Belle.
So you're saying we won't get any money, we won't get any bitches, and we won't get any tacos if I accurately predict an expansion?
I mean, tacos, yes. First two, probably not.
Sorry, hon, you're not going to get any bitches. I was going to give mine to you, but looks like you're not. So yeah, food for thought. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rem, do you have your Can You Not?
Oh, yes. So as we were doing BGs this past week,
We did BGs?
did. And we were staying alive.
I was pretty drunk, so I don't know if we were alive.
So I found out that I forgot this because I usually always did one role on BGs, and so I queued as healer and DPS, and I was in the mood to kill people, which I can still do technically as disc. I can heal people with death, so that's good. But it locked me in like 2 times in a row. I thought my game was broken. Like I was freaking the fuck out, and Belle's like, you queued in with the specific role, and I didn't know it locked you in. Like before, I could queue as a healer for BGs, and I could still switch into Shadow. No, I was fucking locked into that shit.
It was a hot fix I said on the show, though. I just want to point that out. I'm not trying to call you out for not being like paying attention, but it was something I did talk about on the show.
I remember everything.
Blizzard will force you won't be able to change spec, and it'll auto change your spec because they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So, yeah, no. I just got to be more diligent with which role I'm actually selecting, because as a priest, you have healer and DPS, and if my brain is connected to killing people, then I don't want to fucking heal people. Like,
and if you have the healer and the DPS role checked, it will pick based off its algorithm it thinks it needs you to be based off.
Yeah, so if there's like 6 people in the group that are queued as DPS and there's one other person heals, then it'll put you in heals kind of thing. Yeah, fucking dicks. But yeah, no, I mean it's good because it's not. But yeah.
Blow said it's like selecting your role on Grindr. I've never been on Grindr, so I don't know that struggle. I don't know. I would be bottom bitch role if that's a role on Grindr. I don't know if that's a role, but if it is, that would be my role. I know what that means, guys. Some of you are going to be like, what does that even mean, Belle? It means a thing. I learned it a long time ago in a past life. Bottom bitch is actually your top chick, just so you know. Google it.
Backwards.
Blow, that is not a sexual role, bottom bitch. It's not what it sounds like. It's actually like your top. It's like a title, a sense, if you run a business. And that business is exchanging human services.
Would that be like
cash.
your executive assistant or like your CBO?
It'd be like your number 2
officer.
It'd be like your number 2. Well, I mean, really, no, it isn't your number 2.
Who does he work for?
Like, okay, so let's pretend that this is Belle's Brothel, the Whispering Eye, right? So I might have 20 chicks, and there has to be a level of seniority when it comes to you exchanging human services for cash. You have to have one that's the top of them all, because there has to be an alpha female in a group. Just is what it is. It's the nature of happy business when it comes to dealing with women. So the bottom bitch is actually like the top chick. She would be like the manager of all the women. If we were comparing it to human services, sexual services for an exchange for money, or whatever.
You're not paying for the person, the services.
You're paying for the service, and the service
for them to leave.
The service is you're paying them to leave, which again is priceless. Because sometimes they don't leave. Am I right? Rem can't say that because he's living with one, not a brothel owner, but a wife, a spouse. What are you guys? Roommates? Friendmates?
Roommates.
Just rem mates?
Awkward.
Rem mates. Rem mates. That's what we're going to call them from now on, is rem mates. So, my can you not? Now you had
Are we
to
doing
know.
the obvious one, or are we doing...
Well, so I was going to use this as an opportunity to throw shade, right? Because that's what Belle does. She uses those opportunities to throw shade. But I decided I don't want to throw shade, because I didn't throw shade 2 days ago when I was streaming. I was pretty upfront. And I'm not going to throw shade anymore. I'm just going to call that shit exactly how it is. And when people ask me questions, I'm going to tell them the reason and not keep everything to myself for the sake of what? I mean, what?
What's in the butts?
So no. It is not going to be what you think. It should be, but it isn't.
Okay, I'd prefer the one you're choosing to do right now.
Oh my god, you just compared me to Tyra Banks because her ass was huge. Like, that's probably not a good comparison. She really got comfortable in her home life.
That's a way to put it, got comfortable.
Why can't you? That was really good, though. Okay, seriously, I'm going to have to go with it, but I will explain it later so that it isn't shade. We all have been through this transition where sometimes we go from guild to guild to guild to guild to guild, trying to find the right guild, trying to get it right. We all have that one friend that drags us from guild to guild to guild. We pay for server transfer, we pay for faction change. We follow that one friend all over the fucking globe. Wherever they're playing, we follow. Sometimes you find a great home, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you put down roots, and then just when you put down roots, it's time to pick up and go. Can you not be that one fucking friend that literally burns every fucking guild bridge as they're going out the door, literally lighting it on fire, and your friend has to pay for all those server transfers, probably for you too, if I had to guess. I mean, it's just a guess though, guys. But can you not be that guy? And furthermore, can you not be the person that follows said friend from server to server to server, faction change to server, because they burn a bridge and they have to go? And a third part, because one said friend burned a bridge doesn't mean you have to burn that bridge too. Like, it's okay. You don't have to be one. But if you feel like you got to be down, like, you handle it and you shell out that money for server transfers. But guys, this is a common thing in
Oh, yeah.
World of Warcraft, like, specifically. You hear these stories all the time.
I have at least like 4 off the top of my head since Cataclysm.
That's sad. Like, and I'm not even throwing shade at Dwight for using me for a server transfer and then going to raid in a mythic guild. Like, that, this isn't even shade there. This is like thinking about it and it's like, that sucks. Because I've had really good guildies that I've lost because of other people.
Mm.
Because they brought me really good guildies and I lose them, and that sucks. There isn't anybody that I've lost recently that I give a fuck for it to bother me. So, I mean, well, outside of like some of my old raiders, my Yasmusa and like all my
Malu, yes.
Yeah, like those people. But when it comes to you know, I mean, I don't know, I separate my guild stuff anyway. Like, even if I hate your guts, you don't have to leave my guild. Those two things are separate entities, but not everybody's that mature. So, which, you know, the long run, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, guys, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be that person. Whatever you identify as. If you want to identify as both, I don't care. Don't be that guy that drags that person from server to server because you fuck shit up. Because that's not fair to them. Because they not only got to pay for their server transfer, then they got to pay for yours. Unless the money tree grew and I'm unaware. I don't really know. So, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, emotional compartmentalization is 100% something that I'm very good at. Like, it is a hone skill where it doesn't matter if I want to literally light you on fire. It will not affect that specific piece.
Compartmentalization.
My husband and I worked together before we were married, and you would never have known that we were married at work. You never would have known. Because at work, that was not my husband. At work, he was just another guy late for a fucking service call pissing me off. 100%.
Or was he the guy that you eyed and then met in the closet?
That never really happens, though. Like, it's not like it happens in movies where, like,
I
these
know.
things, right? And it's really sad that that's not the case in life. I was watching the Friends episode with Joey and Chandler when they had free porn. And he goes to the bank and he comes back and he's like, I just went to the bank and pulled out money and the teller didn't take her clothes off. And Joey was like, me too. He was like, let's turn off the porn because it's not real. I feel like that's... Anyway. Okay. So... What did you do this week in World of Warcraft as we round out the end of the show?
During the holidays, admittedly, I took a little bit of a longer, like 4 or 5 days where I only logged in like marginally.
Yeah, were you depressed?
Full disclosure, yeah, I was stuck in a rut.
I figured.
Yeah, no, it's
What depressed you?
Life.
Life? Oh.
Yeah. Got your ups and your downs. More of the downs because I'm, down easy. But just getting back into playing. Feeling good about playing. And the BGs were fun. World Pool. Holy shit! I'm having a stroke.
They won like 2 Grammys though.
Who, the Strokes?
The BGs.
Oh.
Barry Gibb. I guess you're a little too young for that. I apologize.
What are you talking about? I made a Bee Gees reference earlier.
You did?
Yeah, you said, we were doing Bee Gees. I said, yeah, we're staying alive.
Oh, yeah, but then I went to John Travolta instead of Bee Gees. Anyway.
Okay. Either way. No, PvP, making it fun again, but getting back into it because I was made fun of at the beginning of the expansion for playing PvP.
No. Let's tell the story right, because if you're going to tell the motherfucking story, then you're going to tell the fucking story right, because there's too many problems these days with people not telling the real story, right? They give the version that makes it look better for them. Guys, if I'm an asshole, it's just as simple. I'm an asshole. There's no version that makes me a better asshole. Maybe, but not really. I didn't make fun of you. I made fun of you made fun of me because I wasn't in war mode. So because I was bitter, was like, oh, this motherfucker trying to make me look bad for not being in war mode, trying to make me look like a little bitch. Okay, I got you. But you did. You were like, oh, I am turn war mode off. And I was like...
It was more of I was doing this thing and you didn't want to do the PvP, so I was like, okay. My friend doesn't want to play PvP. Okay, rip me.
He said, I don't turn it off. And I was just like, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
So, yeah. I don't make fun of you. Yeah. I can't read?
I go to Derek Zoolander schools for kids who can't read.
The Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. I did the same thing this last week. We did PvP. I've been, when Donovan's not, Rem, I don't know who Donovan is, I'm sorry. When Rem is not on, which, because he works, I work from home, so, like, it's just a quick trek through traffic on the stairs. He has to actually go through traffic.
Sometimes you have a husky, sometimes you have a pit in the way.
Literally laying in the center of the fucking staircase. And then you ask them to move, and they don't even budge. Vic, I don't even bother asking to move. I just hop over him and I've fallen down the stairs twice doing that. But yeah, I have been in war mode most of the time. If I know I have to go to Zandalar solo, I am not stupid. It doesn't make me a bitch because I turn it off. It just makes me smart.
Yeah.
If I'm solo, right? Oftentimes though, like Alliance will kind of help you, and I did something.
What's that?
In my week in WoW. I turned back on, not trade chat, general chat. I'll never turn on trade chat again.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you. I didn't know you had. I know you abstained from trade, but not general.
I've had both general and trade turned off for the better part of 6 years now.
It's mind blowing to me.
5 actually, not 6. 5.
I love trade chat because her show is pretty good too.
He's speaking to my good ear. I did. I turned it on because we were doing the call to arms for Storm Song, and we were doing the quest that I think Envy said we got it from Matthias Shaw. I don't remember who we got the quest from. I think we probably did, thinking about it now.
Overwhelming Odds?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's from Matthias.
We hooked up with, like, the boys were coordinating. My husband and Rem were coordinating with guys in general. But if you call out, Alliance will help you. Horde will help you. Like, whatever, even if you're solo. So if you feel like you want to go, like, you can call out, and it might not be a quick return, but there's always somebody in war mode looking for a fight.
Mm-hmm. Even if they'll have the quest, like, oh yeah, let's go kill.
And I think that that's important to cultivate. So maybe I'm giving you wrong advice. Maybe if you are, maybe go solo in war mode to do a world quest in the opposite faction zone and call out and make some friends. Do some camaraderie. Because this is the time when it's good to have that camaraderie, especially with war mode being so accessible to everyone. We had a blast. You make friends, and you kill shit or you don't kill shit. Sometimes you farm and sometimes you get farmed.
Yeah, like you go to get an assassin and find out there's a group of 15 around the corner.
With assassins, guys, it's super important that you tread carefully, because oftentimes somebody will use that assassin marker to lure unsuspecting people who are just looking for something strange for a little bit of change, and then they end up getting a fucking 25-man raid team surrounding this one guy. Which some of you that watched the very beginning of the stream saw a product of that, because that is exactly what happened. Like, we thought that dude was solo. Well, I think we expected like a group of 5.
Yeah, we expected at least like 5 or 6, but not.
He lured us in around the corner, and the second we popped around the corner, there was fucking 30 of them. It was terrible. Terrible.
All bad.
Good,
but still fun.
I still don't like the conquest system, the way that it works now, just in case anybody was wondering. I still don't like it. The capping feels slow. If you're not high rated, right? I did my very first arena in 4 years. Did we really? I really don't think it's 3 years. I would need to go back and look at old shows. I guess I could just look at my rating from previous. My achievements will tell me the last time I was in arenas. But no, God, no, I do not play Horde. Level. I mean, I'm leveling my Nightborn, but no, I don't play Horde. I don't like the Conquest. I'm thoroughly enjoying World PvP. There is a food that you can make. I can't think of the name of it. Pot pie. I think it's pot pie something. Anybody in chat, if you can remind me. Pot pie.
Oh, that one that reduces movement speed?
Yeah, if a melee hits you, their movement speed's reduced. Yeah, I think it was just
hot pie. I think that's the name of it.
Their movement speed's reduced. It's great food, and it's super easy to make because it's things you already have. It's like, it was pot pie, right? Sailor pot pie, or?
I'm pretty sure just either something pot pie or pot pie.
It was new. It was what it was added with the new patch.
Yeah.
Make sure you learn that recipe and you use that if you PvP. Take advantage of the things that drop from the boxes, because the boxes aren't good for anything else, because usually the gear that drops from them is useless. But though they have different potions and things that you could use. Like one adds like 50% damage for like X amount of minutes, which is really great if you're trying to burst down the other team's flag carrier, or if you're trying to protect either a base or your flag carrier. You have that burst damage so that you can like just fucking decimate shit. But definitely take advantage of the little things. And there's those there's the things that the inscriptionists can make too that is useful for your party. I think their cooldowns, like, I don't know, they all share a cooldown, but yeah. Good things though. So with that being said, yes, you heard that correctly. Did step into arenas very not well. I'm rusty. I'm slow. I might be too old for arenas at this point, guys. I'm going to be really honest. But Battlegrounds I did have an absolute blast with. But I might be too old for arenas. I'm really slow, reaction time-wise.
That might be your problem.
Yeah.
Might be.
But it's also because I haven't done it, so it's not muscle memory right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some arenas are, where some I know instantly where I need to be placement-wise. But others, I just go full autistic mode and forget everything that I need to remember. But I'm really, really rusty. We're talking Warlords of Draenor. It's my last arenas.
So been a minute.
I did a couple random skirmishes, remember, in Legion, and people left because they saw I was destruction. I was bitter. But, yeah, so I think that's pretty much going to wrap up today's show. Next week, I don't know what the topics are going to be next week, but if you guys
Something related to Warcraft, guys.
if you guys think of good things that you'd like to see us talk about on the show, we're all ears. You just have to, let us know so that we can be in that positive direction. Now, I'm sure the question's going to be asked, so before the question is asked, let me just get it out of the way and address it, though I did kind of pre-warn people on the stream a couple of days ago. We are going to continue with the two-man format, and when I talk about two-man format, I'm saying from the very beginning of all the really slew of changes that Bell had to endure, I did say that it was just going to be the two of us. I made a move that I thought was for the betterment of the show. And the reality is the show will be better no matter who is here if we make it so. And it just is what it is. So
make it so. Make it so.
It is going to continue. We are going to be bringing in guests on a random occasion, probably like once a month, maybe. I don't like, it depends. It'll depend on what we have content available. So if there isn't a lot of content, that's a good time for a guest. But, I really like to make sure we get to cover stuff. And I feel like sometimes we don't give what we need to give. But then again, guys, we're in a new year to decide what it is we give and what it is you guys want to give. The reality is we can't ruin our audience any more than we already have. It just is what it is. I don't care to build. There isn't anything to build. Because that's fake. It's pretend, and it's a kingdom that isn't reality. All I want to do is talk about Warcraft, and I want to talk to cool people. And I like people to tweet me things on Twitter so I could tweet back when I'm in the toilet. You just got all of my goals for life. So.
By the way, pineapple on pizza? Yes. Hawaiian pizza is really good.
So I do plan on streaming, and I know I say this all the time, and people are like, but where are you? I'm getting a handle right now on my promotion. Today was better. Wasn't as bad as it's been. As that kind of levels out, I'll kind of level out, and it's, it'll be good. But I sit here and game. I don't know why I just don't hit the stream button. It's because I can't pick my nose. I don't really know, but I am going to start streaming. Gamer Checks, I think I'm going to have him stream on the channel too. So that we have additional, streamers streaming random content just so that the channel is fairly active. I don't want to be like a conglomerate of streamers. I just want to entertain people and give them entertainment, really. Streaming isn't an industry I care to break into because there isn't a break in there. I don't sell out, and I don't have 24/7 to dedicate to it. Those two things are at odds with being a successful full-time streamer, so. And nobody wants me to stream on a permanent basis anyway, guys. You can't handle this attitude all the time. It's tough. Just ask Rem. He has to, not log into Zoom, so he doesn't have to hear it. This is what it is. Don't hurt my feelings, guys. I'm aware. So, please don't ask me where anybody is that is not on the show. If you want to know where Murky is, go tweet to him. He'll tell you. It just is what it is. And if I lose you as a listener, it's cool. I love you anyway.
You do you, boo-boo.
We can part ways as friends. No big deal. So, well, Maddie, when I stream, it's usually really late. So I think it's when you wake up. Because usually the last hour of my stream is when all my UK guys are waking up. Because my UK guys get in stream and talk while they're having their coffee. I'm a night owl, just is what it is. So, next week we'll probably unveil the first of the challenges. I haven't called them anything yet because I'm trying to word it right. We're going to talk about the first challenge that's going to be up. Hopefully you guys all have an active sub. If you don't have an active sub, that's going to be crappy. Maybe use the free 7-day thing they give you when you don't have an active sub. I don't know. But challenges are going to be great.
Yeah, I'll find out in a second.
Yeah, the challenges are going to be great. An example, which Blow, I think maybe you weren't here for that episode because you kind of disappeared for like 5 minutes. It's going to be a series of challenges that I'm going to give to bring people together or not bring people together, to screenshot and post on the Twitter spheres or to emails, whatever, and share them. I want to get a community effort to change the culture of our community a little bit into a positive light, or a more fun, freer element. So like an example.
Positive reinforcement.
1 week I might make everybody queue for arenas as a tank.
And you call me a sadist.
And you have to post a screenshot of you in the arena or a little video or something of you queued and in an instance as a tank. One day or 1 week it might be every time somebody is mean to you in a battleground, you have to give a your mama joke. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't want to give them away until each one happens. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a mix of good fun, a little bit of trolling that isn't like mean trolling. But yeah, good things. Cultural transformation. Well, so cultural is really the bad word for it. I want to just bring positivity to some of the toxic life. So that the culture right now is toxic, and I want to change that a little bit. I can't change it on a global scale because I'm not Warcraft, but I'll do my best to my little part, my little human part, guys. That's about all I have the energy for, if I'm being 100% honest. The fact that I'm still sitting here with a lucid thought is mind-boggling. Happy 2019, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
3 days in, it's not sucking yet.
Well, I haven't even really paid all the bills yet, so talk to me after that. But, yeah, guys, see you around. Azeroth, comments, anything, whatever on YouTube, emails, it's all good. Tell me your theories. Tell me your endgame theories. Where do we go if we get off this planet? Who wins? Horde or Alliance?
We're going to Core Hall.
I want to go... I don't know. LinkedIn command will be working next week, Kawhi, because I'm actually going to go activate it. Not right this second, so if I am doing show stuff when I'm editing and I see you try to use that damn command in chat an hour from now, by next show night, the LinkedIn will work. Guys, I love you all. Rem?
I platonically love all of you as well.
Why do you have to say platonically?
Just being facetious.
It's like, I'm trying to find a comparison because Blow always compares everything to Grindr, but I don't know anything about Grindr, so I'm trying to compare it to something I know. And like the only thing I know is the fucking Food Network app that's on my phone and Star Trek Fleet Command. I don't have another comparison.
Comparison for what?
For platonic.
Just for anything?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just saying I don't understand Grindr.
Isn't it just like...
I'm not a gay man. Isn't that what Grindr's for?
Isn't it gay Tinder? Pretty much?
Or is it all walks of life? I'm also not single. Rem's not single either. He has a wife and kid at home. I just let him be a dirty hoe.
For show.
He hides it from me. Oh, good. He doesn't understand Grindr either. We're in the money now. We're good. If he doesn't understand it and he understands everything, like, I don't feel so bad. I barely learned about Tinder's swipe left, swipe right thing like 2 years ago. It's embarrassing as an adult.
All good.
Guys, I have to really officially end it now. And the only reason I haven't ended it is because I have to actually lift my hand to click to turn
You're
it off.
so dumb.
Because I haven't fixed the button on my stream deck yet. I love you.